As an NRI, if you want to lower the TDS while selling property in India, then this video is for you. But before watching this video, I'll strongly recommend you to watch our previous video where we talked about the basic conditions, capital gains, repatriation rules, etc. about the property. Now in this video, we'll talk about the applicable TDS while selling these properties. And as usual, this chapter is divided into two parts. First, we'll break down by understanding the TDS rules, and then we'll see how we can lower the TDS. Now let's dive into the tax deduction at source, commonly known as TDS. It might sound a little technical, but I promise we'll make it easy to understand. Today we'll be taking a closer look at the rates and how they vary for different sellers. It's a bit like a financial puzzle, but I'm here to help you put the pieces together. TDS rates. Now, as we mentioned earlier, TDS is mandatory when buying property in India. The rate isn't the same for every seller though. Here's how it works. Number 1, if you're buying property from an Indian resident, the TDS rate is a uniform 1% of the purchase price. Number 2, however, if you're dealing with NRI sellers, things might get a little bit more complex. The TDS rate depends on whether you're selling the property within 2 years of purchase or holding on to it for a little longer. Short-term versus long-term capital gain. If you're selling the property within 2 years of purchasing it, that's considered a short-term capital gain, and the TDS rate is a bit higher at 30%. On the other hand, if you're selling the property after 2 years or more, then that falls into the category of long-term capital gain, and for that the TDS rate is 20%. But wait, there's more. Surcharge and cess. We're not done with the numbers just yet, hold your horses. There's also a surcharge to consider, ranging from 10% to 15%, and that depends on your income bracket. And don't forget the cess, which is a 4% additional tax. Buyer's responsibilities. So if you're the buyer, here's what you need to know and do. Number 1, apply for TAN in advance. First and foremost, you must apply for a TAN, which is a tax deduction account number. This is to be done well in advance. This is a unique identification number. You'll need to legally deduct TDS. Number 2, deduct applicable TDS. How it works is that when you make a payment to a seller, you're responsible for deducting the TDS amount as applicable based on the property's value and the seller's NRI status. Number 3, remit TDS to the government account. After you've deducted TDS, you need to remit this amount to the government account. And here's the timeline to remember. It should be done within the 7th of the following month from when you made the payment. Number 4, quarterly return submission. The responsibility doesn't end there. You also need to submit a quarterly return in the quarter in which the TDS deduction is made. This helps keep track of all your TDS obligations. Number 5, provide TDS certificate, which is Form 16A, to the NRI seller. After you've completed all these steps, you can download the TDS certificate in Form 16A. This certificate is absolutely essential and you must provide it to the NRI seller. It serves as a proof of the TDS deduction. No exceptions. Remember, there are no exceptions when it comes to the TDS. It's not something you can just skip or overlook. Following these steps diligently is vital to ensure that you comply with government regulations. Now let's move on to the second chapter where we'll understand lower tax deduction with an example. Understanding LTDS with an example. Imagine you're selling a property and the sale value is 100 lakh rupees. The indexed cost, which is nothing but the inflation adjusted purchase price, is 70 lakh rupees. That means there's a capital gain of 30 lakh rupees. TDS versus the actual tax due. When it comes to TDS or the tax deduction at source, it's deducted as a percentage of the sale value. In this case, let's say it's 22.88% on 100 lakh rupees, which equals to 22.88 lakhs. But here's the twist. When you calculate the actual capital gains tax, which is also 22.88%, but on 30 lakh rupees, then it's only 6.86 lakh rupees. So there's a huge difference between the TDS deducted and the actual tax due. In this example, it's an excess TDS of 16.02 lakh rupees. Now, you must be wondering, what happens to that excess TDS? Seeking a refund. Well, here's the deal. You can seek a refund of the excess TDS while filing your income tax return. The refund will be processed and returned to you in the due course. That's typically around 10 to 12 months. Applying for LTDS. But here's where LTDS comes into play. Instead of waiting for a refund, you can proactively apply to the income tax department for the deduction of lower TDS. To do this, you'll need to submit an application in Form 13 to the income tax department. This application will require several documents such as the date of purchase, the purchase price, renovation costs, and other relevant details. The income tax officer will review all these documents, and if you're eligible, issue a certificate for a lower deduction of TDS. Joint ownership considerations. Now, if the property is jointly owned, say by two NRIs, you'll have to submit two separate Form 13 applications because the exemption's based on PAN numbers. Getting professional help. Filling out Form 13 and gathering the required documents can be a little complex. That's why many people choose to engage the services of a chartered accountant to ensure everything is done correctly. It usually takes about 30 days to get the LTDS certificate from the department. TDS until LTDS certificate. It's important to note that until you receive the LTDS certificate, the buyer will deduct the TDS as per the original prescribed rates on all the payments made. So essentially, you'll need to apply for a refund of the excess tax payment when you submit your income tax return. So there you have it, the ins and outs of lower tax deduction at source. It's a fantastic option to explore when selling property as an NRI, potentially saving you a significant amount in taxes. Now let's have a quick run through of all that we've discussed. Chapter 1, understand the TDS rules. Firstly, TDS or tax deducted at source is mandatory when buying property in India. Secondly, TDS rate is 1% if you're buying from an Indian resident. Thirdly, for NRI sellers, TDS rate is 30% for properties sold within 2 years, which is a short-term capital gain, and 20% if sold after 2 years, a long-term capital gain. Fourthly, surcharge and cess are additional charges varying based on property value. For properties valued over 1 crore rupees, total TDS rate is 23.92%. The buyer's responsibilities include 1. Applying for a TAN. Number 2. Deducting the right TDS amount when paying the seller. Number 3. Remitting the deducted TDS to the government account by the 7th of the next month. Number 4. Submitting a quarterly TDS return. And number 5. Providing the TDS certificate Form 16A to the NRI seller. Now let's talk about Chapter 2, which is the lower tax deduction or the LTDS. Firstly, LTDS helps in lowering the TDS amount. So, for example, for a property sold at 100 lakh rupees with an indexed cost of 70 lakhs, the capital gain is 30 lakh rupees. TDS would be 22.88 lakh rupees, but the actual tax due is just 6.86 lakhs. This creates an excess TDS of 16.02 lakh rupees. This brings us to our second point, that this excess TDS can be refunded or you can apply for LTDS through Form 13 to reduce the initial TDS amount. Thirdly, jointly owned properties require separate Form 13 applications. Fourthly, professional help like a chartered accountant can help assist with LTDS applications. And finally, until LTDS certificate is received, standard TDS rates apply and any excess payment must be claimed as a refund during your income tax return filing. And here's some detailed information on TDS rules for NRIs selling properties in India. We've highlighted the benefits and the process of applying for LTDS to minimize tax deductions. If you like this video, let us know in the comment section. See you next time.